everyone, so today's video is going to be a book haul. Now, I feel really bad currently. My mental health and my physical health is really bad right now, and for some reason I decided it was a good idea to film a book haul today. I did plan this like a week ago that I was going to film a book haul today as well as my September TBR, but yeah, I really shouldn't have planned that, but I already did, and all the books are already like in front of me, or well, beside me and in front of me. So yeah, I'm just gonna push myself through this video. I'm sorry if I'm less energetic than usual. I can't do anything about it, but yeah, just bear with me. I'm gonna try and like do my best to tell you something about these books at least. So yeah, let's just get into it. So the first book is actually a book that my mom bought for me in the UK, because my mom lives in the UK and she obviously has access to more like English books than I do, because she lives in like an English speaking country and I don't. So yeah, I asked her to buy this book for me because I was really excited about it, and it had disability representation, so I really wanted to have a copy of it so I can read it soon, and that is You, Me, and Our Heartstrings. Now, I really hope that I said that title correctly because I tried like 3 times to say it. But yeah, this is a book with disability representation by a disabled author. One of the characters has cerebral palsy, I'm pretty sure, and the other character has anxiety. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this. It's like a romance book, and it also features like music. And yeah, I'm just really excited to read it and support a disabled author. And the cover is also very pretty, obviously. So yeah, I can't wait to read this and see what I think of it. So yeah, let's just get into the next book. So the next book is a book that actually recently got really popular, and a lot of people seem to love it, so I decided to buy it when my mom was here, because my mom did visit in July, as a lot of you may know, and a lot of these books are from when I went outside with my mom and like bought stuff, because I don't go outside very often, obviously, because of my disabilities. And yeah, a lot of these books were bought then, and that might seem a bit excessive, but again, I did not buy like any books basically for a couple months before my mom came to visit, because I did know that I was gonna buy a lot of books. So yeah, this is one of those books that I bought when I was outside with my mom, and that is If You Still Recognize Me. Again, very pretty cover. And yeah, I actually don't really know a lot about this book because I've been kind of staying blind to it, because so many people have been saying that they love this book. So I don't really want to know a lot about it. I do think I know that it has to do with like fandom culture a little bit, and it has LGBT plus representation. I might be wrong on that. I really hope it does though, because I really like reading LGBT plus books. But yeah, I'm not sure. I think those are 2 things that are like in the book. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this one as well. I hope that I like it because so many people seem to like it. So yeah, let's just get into the next book, because again, I don't feel well. So yeah. Then the next book is also a book with a very pretty cover. It seems to be like a theme in this video so far. But that book is Skin of the Sea. Now again, like I already said, very pretty cover. I really like the colors of it. I didn't actually know what this book was about. I did see it a couple times on Bookstagram, I think, but I didn't really know what it was about. I think it's about like mermaids. I read it on the back. It seemed very interesting, and it does seem like quite short as well. So I feel like I'm gonna enjoy this. So yeah, I just bought it when I was out with my mom. Yeah, that's it basically. I just bought it because the cover's pretty and it seemed interesting. So yeah. Then next is a manga that I'm not actually sure if I've actually shown already in like my previous book haul, but I'm just gonna show it anyway, because again, I'm not sure if I've already showed you guys, but that is Hanukkokun volume 11. Now I only own Hanukkokun volumes 1 till 6, I'm pretty sure. So 11 is a bit of a jump, but I did see it in a store, and these volumes are quite difficult to find where I live, so I decided to buy it. If you're like interested in this manga, I can't really like explain like the whole story of the manga because it's kind of complicated, but if you're interested in it, there is the anime that basically tells the story from volume 1 till volume like 5 or 6, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, if you're interested in it, you can watch the anime or read the manga. I can't really give like a synopsis because it's quite difficult to explain. So yeah. Then next we have All the Right Reasons. Now this also has disability representation, and as you can also see, it's in a hardcover. I don't usually buy hardcovers, but this one was extremely cheap for some reason, and I knew it had disability representation, so I decided to buy it. It has EDS representation. I'm pretty sure it's the guy who has EDS, and I know it's about like a mother-daughter relationship, mainly like the main character and the relationship with her mother. I've seen people talk about that and how it's not really focused a lot on the romance between the two of them. It's focused on her and her mother. So yeah, I'm really interested to see if I like this book. Again, I bought it for really cheap, and I'm really glad that I did, because again, it has disability representation, so obviously I do want to read it. So yeah. Then next is another book that I had my mom buy in the UK because I didn't have like easy access to it, and that is a book that I've actually already read before on NetGalley because I got an ARC for it and I really liked it. I gave it like 4.5 stars, I think, and I really wanted to annotate it, so I asked my mom to buy it for me, and that is Never Been Kissed. Now this has representation for being on the A spectrum. Specifically, if I remember correctly, the character is demisexual, and yeah, I really like that part of it. I really liked the book in general. There were a couple of things I didn't like, but yeah, overall this was a very good book, and I'm glad that I own a physical copy of it now so I can reread it someday. So yeah, then next is some more manga, and that is volume 14 and 16 of Demon Slayer. Now again, weird numbering, I know, but I already own volume 15. I just couldn't find 14 for some reason, and then I did manage to find 16, so I bought both of them. I am reaching the end of this series because I'm pretty sure it only reaches until like volume 22, 23, so I am almost finished with Demon Slayer, which is good. But I do need to actually start fully reading it, even though it scares me. Not in the sense of like I'm scared of it, like the story, but in the sense of like I'm scared of characters dying. So yeah, I need to get over that and actually like read this series fully. So yeah, I'm glad I actually finally managed to find volume 14 so I can actually continue this series. So yeah. Then the next book is You've Read Sam. Now, the main thing that I've heard about this book is that it makes you cry, and some people really don't like it and like dislike this book. So I'm interested to see what I think of it, whether I cry and hate it or whether I cry and love it, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna cry no matter what because of the like concept of this book. I don't really know if I can explain it because I don't know enough about it, but I'm pretty sure that one of these people on the cover is dead, and I'm pretty sure because of the coloring that it's the guy, and also because of the title, like it sounds like a voicemail kind of thing. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is gonna make me cry, but I'm gonna read it and see whether or not I'm actually gonna like it and cry. So yeah, that will be interesting, but I do hope that I like it, obviously. So yeah. Then next, I finally managed to find Origami Volume 6. I have been looking for this for months and I could not find it, and Volume 5 ended on a cliffhanger, even though I have seen the anime so I know how it ends. But still, it ended on a cliffhanger, and so I really wanted to read Volume 6, and then I couldn't find it for months. But now I found it, and as you can see, I'm in the middle of reading it, so yeah, I'm glad that I finally managed to find it. Hopefully I don't have like much of a problem finding like the next couple volumes of this series, because otherwise I'm gonna keep having this issue like over and over again, where the volumes like end on a cliffhanger and I can't read it for like months because I just can't find the volumes. Hopefully that won't happen, so yeah. Then next we have the Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation Book 2. Now, I recently found this for a cheap price because these books are quite expensive because they are so big, like bigger than a regular book, and they do have like drawings in it. I don't know if you can see any of them, but they do have drawings in them. So they are more expensive, but I did manage to find this one for a decent price, even though it is a bit damaged. I hope you can't really see it on camera, but it is a bit damaged, which does annoy me. But yeah, I'm not willing to spend like a lot of money on like an undamaged copy, so yeah, at least it was cheap, I guess. But yeah, this series, because it's gonna have 4 or 5 books, I think, because it's a very long story. This is the series that the show The Untamed is based on, which I know that like a lot of you guys will probably know that show because it became very popular during the beginning of quarantine. So yeah, I do actually still need to read the first book because I was scared that the first book was gonna end in a cliffhanger. So I decided to buy this one and then read it, which I am planning to read these two soon. By the time that you watch this video, I might have already read them. So yeah, I am excited to read this, but I am gonna put it down now because one, it is very heavy, and two, I know that some people are not gonna be interested in this type of story. So yeah, I'm gonna put it down now. Then the next book is another book that I got with my mom, which when she saw the title of this book, she actually kind of looked at me strange, so I had to kind of be like, oh, it's not like LGBT plus, I promise. Because my parents are kind of like a little bit homophobic, so I had to kind of like explain that it was like a story about female friendship, even though I know that it isn't, because I'm pretty sure it's literally written by two women who are married to each other. But basically a whole like situation to buy this book, but I did manage to buy it, and that is She Gets the Girl. Now obviously you can tell by the title why my mom was a bit iffy about it. But yeah, this is sapphic, I'm pretty sure. I don't know anything else about it, like at all. Like I know nothing of the story. I just know it's sapphic, and I wanted to buy it, so yeah, that's my only explanation for it. Don't know anything else about it. I hope I like it. Yeah, let's just move on. Then the next book is actually a book that I was debating whether or not to buy it for like months, but then I saw it for really cheap in a store and I decided to buy it, and that is Red, White, and Royal Blue. Now this book is very popular, so I don't need to like introduce it, I think. But I did read the other book by this author, which is One Last Stop. I really enjoyed that one. That one is sapphic, this one is not. This one is two guys, and I know it's like royalty because I mean, it's also in the title, but yeah, I know it's royalty. I know that it had some issues with like weird sentences in the book that made people very uncomfortable, which I don't know if they're taken out yet, but yeah, because of that I was kind of debating whether or not to get it, but then I saw it for really cheap, so I decided why not. Like, it's really cheap, and I liked the author's other book, so maybe I'll like this one. So yeah, I can't wait to see what I think of this. Again, obviously very popular. I'm pretty sure it's gonna have like a TV show or a movie or something like that, but yeah, can't wait to see what I think about it. Then the next book is also gay, and that is If This Gets Out. Now, I really like the cover of this book. I really like the way that it looks. But other than the fact that it's gay, I don't actually know much about it. I think it has to do with like celebrities. Like, I think both of them are like celebrities in like the same group, maybe even. And they're together and they have to like hide it. I'm not sure if that's correct. Like, maybe I'm completely wrong. But I am very excited to read this because I do actually, again, really like the cover, even though the idea of the book does make me very anxious. Like, having to like hide your relationship from like millions of people. That sounds absolutely terrifying to me. So yeah, I'm probably gonna struggle my way through this book because it does scare me, like the concept. So yeah, let's see what I think about this, I guess. But I hope I like it. Like, basically every single one of these books, so maybe I should stop saying that. But yeah, let's move on. Then next, I'm actually not sure if I've already shown this book in another book haul as well, but I'm gonna show it again just in case I didn't show it, and that is Disability Visibility. Again, not sure if I've already shown this, but I have read this book, as you can probably tell by the very intense amount of tabs that are in this book. But yeah, I did really enjoy this book. It was very interesting. I know it's gonna have like a sequel of sorts, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be called like Disability Intimacy or something like that, because this was more about like disability and visibility, obviously. Like, it has a lot of different stories by a lot of different people, and someone actually sent this book to me from like my Amazon wish list, which I'm very grateful for. I actually put like the little note like in the back of my books always. And I also have this one signed because I got a signed book plate from winning like a giveaway from the editor of the book, not the author, because like a lot of people have written this book and the editor is the one who like put it all together, but she obviously didn't write all of the stories. She just like edited them and stuff like that. So yeah, I have like a signed copy basically, which is very exciting because I did really like this book. And I can't wait for like the sequel of sorts to come out. So yeah, I highly recommend this book as like a book written by a lot of disabled people and about like disability and stuff like that. I highly recommend it. It's very sad at times as well, so if you want to like cry a bit at a book, I also recommend it. So yeah, highly recommend it. Then next we have This Wicked Fate. Now this I'm pretty sure is the sequel to This Poison Heart, which I haven't actually read because it's fantasy and I really struggle to read fantasy, but this does seem like a really good series. It does have like sapphic representation, as you can see, which I hope I'm actually right about that, but I'm pretty sure I am. So yeah, I am very excited to read this series just because this book is so short. And so I feel like even though I struggle to read fantasy, I will read through this very fast. So I'm very excited to read this. I hope I can read it soon. Again, I don't know much about it, so I can't really give you like a synopsis, but I'm pretty sure it has to do with like plants because of the cover and the cover of the first book. I might be wrong, but it does seem very interesting, and I kind of really want to start reading it right now. But I already made my September TBR and I didn't put these books on it, so we'll see what happens with that. I guess if I'm in the mood to read some fantasy, maybe I'll pick this up. Not this one, the first one obviously, but yeah, I'm really excited to read this series. I can't wait to see what I think of it. And let's just get into the last couple of books because I really don't feel well. I keep like almost throwing up and it's not fun. So let's just get into the last couple of books and then finish this video. Then next is a book that I never thought I would pick up from a bookstore, but it was really cheap, so I decided to buy it, even though I really don't know if I'm gonna like this book. But a lot of people seem to like it, even though I feel like I'm one of those people who's not gonna like it. But again, it was really cheap, so I decided to buy it, and that is The Spanish Love Deception. Again, I've heard a lot about this book and a lot of people love it, but I feel like I'm just not going to be one of those people because it is like so long for a romance book. Like, I don't even want to know how many pages this is. Like, this is supposed to be a romance book, like not like a fantasy, a romance. Like, I don't know how I'm even going to get through this. Like, it's also not like LGBT plus, I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it's not LGBT plus. So I basically bought a book that is this big, that doesn't have LGBT plus representation at like the forefront, and it's romance. Like, what did I get myself into? Like, I know that it was very cheap, but still, why did you buy it? Like, now you're gonna have to read it. So yeah, I really did something to myself by like buying this book, but maybe I'll surprise myself and maybe I'll actually love it. But yeah, we'll see, I guess. I honestly don't know when I'm gonna read this book because I don't know if I'm ever gonna feel in the mood to read it, considering again how big it is. But yeah, we'll see, I guess. Then next we do have a romance book with LGBT plus representation. I'm pretty sure it has trans representation. I'm not sure what other kind of representation, but I'm like 99% sure it does have trans representation, and that is Meet Cute Diary. Now again, more interested to read this book because it does have LGBT plus representation, and it's a romance, and it's lesbic. So yeah, I'm very excited to read this book. I really hope that I like it. I follow the author on Twitter, I'm pretty sure, and yeah, I'm just really excited to read this book. I hope that I like it. I am also very glad that I finally managed to find this book because I couldn't find it for months, so I am very glad that I managed to find it. But let's just get into the last book of this book haul because again, I don't feel well and I have physical therapy in a couple hours, which is going to be interesting with how bad I feel. But yeah, let's just get into the last book of this book haul and then stop this video and somehow take a thumbnail, which is gonna be interesting. So yeah. Then the last book of this book haul is a book that I'm very excited to finally own a physical copy of because I read it with an audiobook and I really liked it. And I'm very excited about the kind of physical copy that I got as well because I bought like a specific cover of this physical copy and I actually got a different one, which usually I would be annoyed by, but I do actually like this one more. So I'm very excited about that. And that book is Convenience Store Woman. Now, as you can see, I have the purple cover, which I actually bought the pink cover, but they sent me this one, which I actually love more because I really like the color purple, and I'm really glad that I own this book in this cover because I really like the book as well. If you've watched my channel for a while, you know that I really like this book and I didn't own a physical copy of it. It's very thin, it's a translated work from Japanese, and it's about a woman who is very clearly autistic, but a lot of people just kind of call her quirky and weird, which she's very clearly autistic coded. But yeah, this is basically about an autistic main character who works in a convenience store. And yeah, that's basically all I can say about it because I don't know, I'm not really gonna spoil anything by saying anything, but I feel like you kind of go into this book blind because I feel like it just works better that way to go into this book blind. So my camera stopped filming as I was talking about this book and I didn't notice it. So now I'm really pissed off about that and I'm really sick, as I already mentioned. I keep almost throwing up. So I'm not going to talk about this book more. I'm very excited that I finally got it. Can't show my excitement on my face because I don't have the energy for it. So yeah, I'm very glad that I finally got this book. Let's end this video once again because I already did. So thank you for watching this video. I'm really sorry that I have to end it on such a weird note, but I already filmed this part and I talked about how sick I felt throughout the entire video and how glad I was that it was finally over, and who knew that it wasn't actually over because my camera had stopped filming. So yeah, I'm really sorry it has to end on such a weird note, but yeah, I have to stop filming now because I have to go to physical therapy in a couple hours and I have to somehow get ready for that without dying. So that's going to be interesting. So another thing that I also mentioned when I filmed this without actually filming it was that I'm probably going to film another book haul towards November because my birthday is in December and I'm probably going to buy a lot of books during that time. So probably another book haul in November and then one at the beginning of next year. So yeah, those are my plans. I am going to stop this video now because again, I do feel really ill. And yeah, thank you for watching and bye.